talk about how to improve the timing and efficiency of your kettlebell carry. Now I'm going to working with an imaginary, really reduced track. So this is my starting line, and the line where the turf begins is going to represent my halfway point that I turn around and go back. Let's start talking about picking up the kettlebells. Now when you walk up to the kettlebells and pick them up, you want to be between them. You don't want to have them in front of you. You don't want to have them behind you. The most efficient way is to be right inside them, kind of like you're doing a trap bar deadlift. Now, I do not recommend you being in the same stance as a trap bar deadlift, which means feet parallel. So we're going to refer to that as a parallel stance. Instead, why is that? Well, because I have to get up here, stand, and then start walking. The quickest way, now by the way, I'm actually using slightly heavier kettlebells than you're using to test, is to actually step here. Staggered stance, like so. So I have the kettlebells now, I'm in between them. I drop, I kind of do that hybrid deadlift stance we talked about with the power throw, here. Now the nice thing about that is when I pick it up, I can already start walking. Now if you're not strong enough to do that with your lower body strength, then of course you would go to the two-legged pickup. But as long as you do it more from a hip deadlift type position, look, soft bend, heel up in the back, hip hinge. I want the kettlebells fairly underneath my shoulders. It's okay, they're slightly behind me, but ideally I want to be about right here. So you could say here to here, all of that works well. Pick it up, and right as I pick it up, I'm off to the races. Now, number 2, notice where I grab the kettlebells. Instead of grabbing them in the middle, try to grab them more towards the front. I don't mean down like this. You're still on the handle. But as you're kind of going into it, watch. It works as a stopping mechanism. Boom. Right there. So you're grabbing more in this, they call these the horns, right? They come up the side, you're going to grab right there. Also, when I walk up to the kettlebells, I want to try to come around the handles. So if I'm going towards you, instead of just grabbing like this, you want to try to come underneath. Why? Because that'll give you a little bit more hand contact with the kettlebell. So you want to kind of do this move here. Make sure your thumb tries to wrap around as much as you can, and off you go. And also make sure that most of the pressure isn't just on the front part of the fingers. You really want to focus on getting as much of the back of your hand as possible. Because as you get weaker, it's those from the pinky on is what you're going to start losing your grip with. So from the side, you want to get around like this. Now, let's talk about the turn. So in the rules, I have to just touch the finish line or the halfway point with one foot. So instead of touching it, so keep in mind, this would be my line where the turf is. Instead of touching it and kind of doing this chop step and turning, watch. So if I go here, look, I'm doing slow. I touch the line with my left leg. Now watch what my left leg does. It goes back, and then I'm off and running. Watch with the right leg. So if the right leg touched the line, boom. Here, right leg again steps behind me, but turns. And then I'm gone. And the whole time you want to keep the kettlebells fairly close to your side. So touch, reverse. As opposed to hit here, touch, turn, turn, turn. So it's a little dance move. Watch. I get to the line. Don't step too big because you might lose your balance. Get to the line. If that touches, this foot then goes here. So it's boom, boom, pivot, and off you go. There you have it. Every tip I know for maximizing your sprint drag carry.